everyone. So, the rest of the part, the inheritance of molecular biology, the packaging of DNA, okay. We will continue that part from packaging of DNA. So, what is the length of the DNA? You can multiply by the double helix structure, that is the base pair present in the DNA and the distance between the two base pair, okay. So, when the distance between two consecutive base pair are 3.4 nm, okay. So, distance between two consecutive base pair is 3.4 nm or 3.4 into 10 to the power 9 meter, okay. 3.4 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter. So, this is the distance between the two base pair. And the length of the DNA double helix, because you know that haploid, the length of the two DNA double helix structure, the total number of DNA distance between the two consecutive base pairs. So, in the haploid chromosome, the base pair number of base pair in diploid number of base pair in haploid chromosome, haploid DNA equal to 3.3 into 10 to the power 6 base pair. But in so that in double helix DNA that is 6.6 into 10 to the power 6 base pair, okay. So, the length of the DNA is always multiplying by the number of the base pair into the distance between the base pair, okay. The length of DNA double helix is a typical mammalian cell is calculated simply by multiplying the total number of base pair with the distance between the two. So, the length of DNA equal to total number of base pair multiplication with distance between two consecutive base pair. Equal to 3.4 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter into 6.6 into 10 to the power 6 base pair, okay. This is the length of a double helix DNA, okay, and the number that is approximately 2.2 meters, okay. So, if anyone want to know or if you ask that what is the length of a double helix DNA, then it will be 6.6 because 3.3 is the haploid number of DNA, okay. Haploid DNA, the base pair present 3.3, but when it is transformed into the double helix DNA, it is 6.6 into 10 to the power 6 base pair into the length of the DNA and the total number of distance between the two base pair 3.4 into 10 to the power minus 9, okay. So, it is a very good question and it is very important. Remember that how could you calculate the total length of a double helix DNA, okay. Now, how the structure of the DNA, okay. In prokaryotes, E. coli, they do not have defined nucleus. You know that in the primitive, in the prokaryotes, they don't have the well developed nucleus, so that's why the only DNA or chromosome materials are present instead of the nucleus, that is called nucleoid. Okay. So in prokaryotes, E. coli through they do not have a defined nucleus, the DNA is not scattered through the cell. DNA is held with some proteins that is termed as the nucleoid. The DNA in nucleoid is organized in large loop held by the proteins. Okay. So in prokaryotes, instead of nucleus, the DNA or the chromosome materials in prokaryotes is called nucleoid. In prokaryotes, the DNA material is called nucleoid. Only chromosome material DNA are present. The DNA nucleus or large loops held by the proteins, that is nucleoid held by the proteins. Okay. You can find nucleoid in the prokaryotes, but in eukaryotes obviously they have well developed nucleus and the DNA structures is also complex. Here DNA is negatively charged, but there is one type of histone protein is present that is positively charged. So DNA just coiled the histone protein and formed the nucleosome. Okay. So in eukaryotes the organization is much more complex. Organization is much more complex. There is a set of positively charged basic proteins called histones. A protein acquires charge depending upon the abundance of amino acid residue with charged side chain. Histones are rich in basic amino acid residue, lysines and arginines. So positively charged in eukaryotes, positively charged proteins present, that is called histone. Positively charged proteins called histone. Okay. Positively charged present in the protein is present, and histone is made up of amino acid which is also positively charged. So that's why you know that proteins is the polymer of the amino acid. The basic unit of the proteins is called amino acid, and the amino acid, that is lysines and arginines. Okay. So histone protein is made by the lysines plus arginine. Okay. These two amino acids specially made the histone protein. Both residue carry positively charged in the side chain. Histone are organized in the form of a unit 8 molecules called histone octamer. Okay. So the histones are rich in amino acid, that is lysines and arginines. So which amino acid helps to form the histone protein, that is lysine and arginine. Okay. And DNA is negatively charged, but histone protein is positively charged. DNA negatively charged, DNA is negatively charged, but histone is positively charged. Okay. And histone forms 8 molecule structures. Okay. That is called histone octamer. The negatively charged DNA wrapped around the positively charged histone octamer to form a structure called nucleosome. So what is nucleosome? The negatively charged DNA, nucleosome, the positively charged the negatively fast up. The negatively charged DNA wrapped around the histone octamer histone octamer, that is called nucleosome. Okay, so this structure is called nucleosome. DNA just coil around the histone octamer. Actually the structure of the nucleosome is just looking like just one type of globe. Okay, so there is that this round structure is histone octamer and DNA just coiled around okay, and this is the structure. So that one histone, H1 histone, histone formed 8 molecule structure, that is called histone octamer. Okay, this round shape structure is called histone octamer, and this is coiled DNA. Okay, this is DNA, and this total structure is called nucleosome. So that DNA wrapped around the histone octamer and negatively charged, DNA is negatively charged, but the histone octamer is positively charged. So that's why DNA is also transformed into the positively charged, that is called nucleosome structure that present in the eukaryotes. The based on string structure, chromatin is packaged in the form of chromatin fibers are further coiled and condensed at metaphase stage of cell division to form chromosome. You know that chromosomes are thread-like structure, but in the cell division you have seen you can see only chromosome at the metaphase and anaphase stage of the cell division. Okay, so when you see the cell division, you know that the chromosomes are just looking like that and they form in the middle of the structures. Okay, so this is the chromosomal structure, and you can only able to see the chromatin because the chromatin threads, they are chromatin actually the threads like structure, but when they condensed or when they form chromosome, they just condensed. Okay, so they form this chromosomal structure. So you can only see the chromosomes at the cell divisions of the metaphase stage. The packaging of chromatin is higher level, requires additional set of proteins, collectively are referred to as the non-histone chromal proteins. Okay, so what is NHC? The packaging of chromatin at higher level require additional set of protein that are collectively referred to as non-histone proteins. So when the chromosomes start to packaging, they requires the higher level of proteins. Okay, these are called non-histone chromosomal protein. Okay, so what is the full form of the NHC? Non-histone chromosomal protein. Non-histone chromosomal protein that helps in the packaging of the chromosomes. Okay, they are higher level protein, helps in packaging of the chromosomes. In a typical nucleus, some region chromatins are loosely packed and referred to as euchromatin, and euchromatin that are more densely packed and stained dark is called heterochromatin. So you can see two type of chromatins. Okay, euchromatin and heterochromatin. What is the difference between euchromatin and heterochromatin? Euchromatin and heterochromatin. So what is the difference between these two chromatin? That is loosely packed. and stains light. Okay, euchromatin and heterochromatin, they are loosely packed. First one loosely packed, second, and heterochromatin densely packed. Okay, first one loosely packed and second one is referred to as the densely packed. So heterochromatin densely packed. Next, they lightly loosely packed, so they take stain light, lightly stained. And dark stained. Okay, and euchromatin is said to be transcriptionally active chromatin, heterochromatin is inactive. That one is active chromatin and that one is inactive. Active chromatin and inactive chromatin. Okay, thank you everyone. This is for the up to, and we will continue the rest of the part in our next video. Okay.